Good day, Market Chameleons, and everyone joining for the first time. Thanks for coming by and checking out our daily webinar series. Before we get started, let's take a look at the share disclaimer. Please be aware that neither Market Chameleon, Dimitri, or myself are registered investment advisors or a broker-dealer. If you're searching for investment advice, please reach out to a licensed professional. This webinar, as all our webinars and shows, are for informational purposes only concerning Market Chameleon tools and products. One last look at that disclaimer, and let's welcome Dimitri Pargamonik to the stage to talk about market on close imbalances. Here you go, D. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, Will. How are you?
Morning, my friend. Let me share your screen.
Okay. Good
And there you
morning,
go.
everyone. And let me navigate to the report that we're going to discuss, the market on close order imbalance, and it is. Let me see. Right here, stock order imbalance under stocks. We're going to click on that. Takes us to this page. And before we look at the data, let's just discuss what the market on close orders are and what type of traders or who might be using the market on close. Because when you trade, and typical trader can execute a trade anytime during the day. You don't need to wait exactly for the closing price to do a trade. If you want to buy a stock or sell a stock, you could do it 12 p.m., 1 p.m., anytime during the day. You could put in a limit order, see if the stock reaches your limit order. But when you use a order specifically on the closing price, that order will not get executed during the day, even if you have a limit order where the price goes through, because that's designated as a special order type that it's only eligible to get executed at the closing auction. So closing auction is where a specialist takes the orders on the book and all the market orders or limit orders on the close, and has a single price auction, executes the trades at where there's where he meets the supply and demand, the balance, and that's the official closing price. Okay. And the reason there's a official closing price, or why somebody would execute it at the closing price, is that there are certain strategies or certain funds that need the exact closing price. Okay. And that's because, think of it like a mutual fund. A mutual fund has the ability for you to create or redeem shares. Well, when you create or redeem units, you do it at a net asset value, and that's based on the closing prices. Okay, so this way you don't have, the NAVs are not constantly, changing throughout the day. You have an NAV at the end of the day where you create or redeem shares, and those are done at official closing prices, and that's where the value gets marked at. There are also strategies out there that also get the ability to be able to create or redeem units, like ETFs, and those will also reference the closing price. So there's lots of strategies. Some are based on rebalancing. So some strategies are based on daily rebalancing, where you have a portfolio, and that portfolio needs to get rebalanced based on some risk parameters, and those will also be based on those NAVs or closing prices. So there are lots of institutional trading strategies out there that rely on that official closing price. And when we look at the orders, they could accumulate throughout the day. So, for example, you could have some mutual funds, for example, that start to get lots of orders coming in, and they might need to create new units, and they'll send those orders in throughout the day, and you get this kind of indication, where the markets are leaning, towards the buy side or sell side. And around 10 minutes before the close, we get this indicator that we're looking at here, where if there's a certain amount of shares, I think it's like 50,000 or more of an imbalance to one side or the other, there's an indicator there to tell the market, well, hey, there's an imbalance of, to the buy side. Like over here in ABT, there's an imbalance, 350,000 shares to the buy side. And the idea there is to signal to somebody else who may be looking to sell shares and now can access higher liquidity, right? So if you're a seller and you were looking to access liquidity, this kind of gives you a signal to say, hey, here's your chance to come in and be able to match up with the other side. Okay, so that's kind of like in a short version of why traders would use, or certain institutions would use the market on close order types. And why would there be an indicator? Well, the indicator is allowing the market to know, hey, there's an imbalance to one side. If you're looking to counter, if you have shares that you're looking to do on the other side, well, here's some liquidity here that you could access. And then we get this report, and this report then kind of allows us to look through what the markets or how the markets may be behaving. Okay, so over here, when we have the large market on close imbalance, we could look in aggregate. And in aggregate, we see, well, there are, total of 30 stocks last week, because we're not open, this is from Friday, 30 stocks that had a large market on close buy imbalance, 77 stocks sell imbalance. The 30 stocks had 14.2 million shares of a buy imbalance versus the 11.3 million shares in the sell side. And as far as the dollar value, we had $571 million worth of stock on the buy imbalance versus 791 in the sell imbalance. So if you look at these every day, it's kind of light. There's not a significant amount of even eyeballing it throughout the week of one side of buy or sell, but it allows us to kind of quickly check and see what's been going on, if there's any huge uptick from regular trading or some kind of really big all of a sudden imbalance that could maybe indicate some kind of shift in sentiment. And again, a lot of this is very typical. It's not unusual to see these rebalancing on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so you'll usually see these all the time because there's always rebalancing and need to create or redeem shares. But it gives us a idea of what's going on, and if there's something unusual, then it gives us the ability to kind of spot it and look into it further. Okay, so here, as you can see, we just have this report, and just reading from left to right. This is the symbol. This is the time the indicator came out at 350. The balance was on the buy on close. The stock price at the time at 350 that they came out was $134.11. And the buying balance was 350,117 shares. And this is the notional value, which was the closing price times the number of shares. So here was, what is that, 46 million? Almost $47 million worth of shares in dollar terms. So that's quickly how to read this report and get insights. So Will, I'm gonna stop right there. I wanted to give kind of a brief overview of this report.
Yeah, that was a great overview, D. Thanks, as always, for bringing these webinars to the Chameleon community. It was a great way to start a new week. Thank you, my friend. We will see you tomorrow. You have a great trading day.
Thanks. You too. Everyone have a great trading day. Stay safe out there. We hope to see you tomorrow.
All right. Trade in peace, my friend. Bye-bye. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining another Chameleon webinar. If you look in the chat, we actually have a show today at 4:30 with Ryan Mastro from Options Robot. If you get on that link, you'll click on it, and YouTube will let you know when the show starts at 4:30 today. There will also be an email sent out, and you can always watch it for perpetuity on our YouTube show, on our YouTube channel. So check that out. For those who may be here for the first time and haven't checked out the Market Chameleon, we do offer a free trial, and that is a 7-day free trial. So if you go to the upper right-hand corner of Market Chameleon, click on that free trial, you will get a 7-day free trial. Always worth a look. Everyone, thanks for joining today. Thanks for being part of the Chameleon community, and have a safe trading day. Oh, and remember, if you're on the social platforms, thumbs up, always appreciated. If you're on any of the other platforms, Twitter, like us, follow us. It's always helpful to the Chameleon community. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.